Hello, everybody, and we are live with Nathaniel Shearer. How you doing today, Nathaniel?
I'm doing well. Doing well, getting ready for my trip tomorrow. But yeah, doing well.
Okay,
How are you?
I'm good. So, for those of you, let me give you some context to what we're doing tonight. Nathaniel, or Nate, as I call him, is my best friend since I was 11 years old. So that has been a long time. So this is her young son. He's getting ready to graduate from medical school. So Nate, how do you feel? How are you feeling about finally graduating?
It's been a long time coming, but it's nice. It's moving on to the next step. So it's good to see some forward progress after so much school and, loans and not being paid all this time. It's welcome. This changes.
Now, what made you decide to want to be a doctor?
I don't think I've ever wanted to do anything else. Um, I mean, maybe for a while there, maybe some like electrical or mechanical engineer, but I think ever since I was old enough to express that, kind of wish in career path, it had always been doctor, like those little cards that you write in first grade and they ask you like, oh, what's your name? Who's your hero? Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And mine had always been doctor. Yeah,
Wow, since first grade.
probably. Yeah.
That's
I'm sure my
amazing.
mom has like some cards somewhere with
Okay.
my terrible first grade handwriting. The handwriting hasn't improved much, but the
So, do you think your mother had some influence on you wanting to be a doctor?
oh, certainly,
And tell
certainly.
the people why. Tell the people why.
Oh, well, she's a nurse. She's been a nurse for a long time, a very long time. Um, but she would sometimes take us up to work, and I just found it really interesting, like what the doctors did there, and yeah, just being exposed from it early on, I think is the biggest part of the influence.
Mhm.
And she's done a lot more to, kind of help facilitate the process of getting me here.
Mhm.
But yeah, big influence she's had.
Mhm. So, when you used to go to work with her, did some of the other doctors, the doctors there, talk to you, or how did that come about?
Oh yeah, um, more when I got older, when I had an interest, and it was more okay for me to go wander off in the department because I knew my way around. They would allow
Mhm.
me to go into the procedure rooms and see what they're doing, and
Wow.
kind of explain to me what's going on and in the reading rooms because they were radiologists. They would point out the different anatomic structures and things like that.
Mhm.
So it was really, really cool getting to see them do all those procedures.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So let's go through your journey of becoming a doctor. So what courses did you take in high school?
Too many. um, well, I did dual credit and I did the TBI program.
Okay, some people don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So say what that is.
Yeah. So the dual credit, it's when you get both credit for your high school class and college courses, and that is
Mhm.
funded by the district. Um, and they were nice enough to send us off to Temple College and also take classes at CTC. So two nearby junior colleges or colleges, I don't know what they are, um, to earn college credit.
Mhm.
So by the time I graduated from high school, I had like 87 college credits built
Mm.
up.
Mhm.
So yeah, and that was mainly taken the last 2 years. I think one semester I took 29 credit hours, and another semester I took 30, which is just awful, but got through it.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So Were you the valedictorian? I think that's what of your high school class. What was going on? I think that's what I heard.
I held that spot for 3 years, but in the last semester, one of my friends bumped me down to second place, so I was salutatorian.
Okay.
Yeah.
By
Mhm.
your friend. You got done
Yeah,
in by your friend.
yeah, which I was happy for. Kind of
Uh-huh.
salty for a little bit, but still happy for it.
Uh-huh.
Still did okay.
So for those of you who don't know, when he said CTC, that's Central Texas College in Killeen, Texas. So so when you hear that, that's where he well, would you say you're from there? I guess so. Because you
Yeah,
lived there pretty much all your life, right?
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
born
So
in Temple, raised in Killeen, so like been in that
right.
house, yeah.
Right. In Killeen, Texas, for the people who don't know, is home to a military base, which is how I met his mother. Her dad was in the army and my dad was in the army at the same time, and we all lived on base together. And I used to ride bikes with his mother. So that's where the connection comes from. Uh, when you grow up on a military installation or surrounding it, you're going to form life those long last forever relationships. Because I remember Donna went away, I think they moved to Italy and
Mhm.
came back, and then I think they went to Kansas and came back, and I've been knowing them ever since. You know, some people, they will leave and then you meet back up with them again. So that was the case with Nate's mother, Donna. Okay, and so anyways, so tell me, okay, so you went to undergrad school. Where did you go for your undergrad work? And tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, for undergrad, I went to Texas A&M University in College Station,
Mm-hmm.
and because of how I graduated in high school, I knew I was going to get accepted there. They have like some kind of automatic um, admission process if you're in the top however many percent. I'm not sure what it is now, but it used to be maybe 10, 12%, or I don't think it was as exclusive as UT, which was 8. I'd have still been able to do it, but I wanted to go to Texas A&M. A lot of my friends were headed that way, so I chose that. It's the only place I applied and got in, and
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed my time there. It's a bunch of um, hmm, friendly people. They had spirit there, and the classes that I took for, I think my major was biomedical sciences, and that has a lot of different disciplines that you learn, like biology, chemistry, physics, biochemistry, organic chemistry, um, psychology, sociology, a couple of maths that you have to get through. Not really math heavy at all. Some writing classes and more life sciences. Like
Okay,
my,
I'm sorry, I had to stop you for a second.
yeah.
Explain life science. Actually go into a little bit detail for me with that. What does that involve?
Yeah, so more life sciences class like genetics, um, microbiology, um, the further biological classes that got more into medicine and weren't as general as just biology. Because biology, you learn about plants, fungi. Well, some fungi are medically relevant, but you're just learning more biology. If
Mm-hmm.
you once you get further down into your classes, you get to take things that are more geared towards going into either med school or vet school or PA school or um, a lot of the different professional schools that stem from the major that I had. So
Mm-hmm.
those anatomy, physiology, um, yeah, I really like that class, physiology.
Mm. And physiology, go into that since you said you liked it so much. Explain to me why you liked it and go into detail, a little more detail about what that involves, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I'd always been real interested in the human body. You know, as I said
Mm-hmm.
earlier, I was interested in medicine from a young age. And it wasn't really until physiology that we talked primarily about humans and how the body worked. So,
Mm-hmm.
of course, you get into genetics, and that has something to do with it. Anatomy, we dissected dogs in undergrad. We didn't move on to humans until med school. So a lot of the people in my major, they went into vet school, so
Mm-hmm.
they're
Mm-hmm.
graduating pretty soon to become veterinarians. Um, but physiology, it is how the body works. Anatomy is like how it's structured. And
Give me an example, because I get those two confused, anatomy and physiology. It's hard for me to differentiate between the two. Can you like kind of give me an example? You know, like a example of anatomy versus physiology.
okay, so anatomy, you know, you have gross structures like your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And from the outside, you can see that your heart has four chambers and a lot of great vessels coming off of it, some that are leading in, some are leading out. And there's your anatomic kind of basis. But physiology is how does it pump? The electrical signals, how are they conducted through the heart? What makes the muscles contract?
Mm-hmm.
Different ions. You have sodium channels, potassium channels that repolarize. You have calcium that binds to the smooth muscle um, macromolecules and makes them contract. And it's a lot more involved than that, but it's just an overview. So instead of talking about the human body, like, okay, these structures are here,
Mm-hmm.
physiology goes into how do they work.
Okay. 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 I think so. I got it now. Because I've always was like, okay, what is the difference? But that was really good. Your how you explained that. You explained it to me on a simple level.
Oh, I just see it like a ton to talk about.
Explain it to me on a simple level.
No, yeah.
I always got those two confused. I had a lot of friends that were undergrad medical students, and they would tell me stuff, and they just like, "Oh, like look," and I would pretend like I would know what they were talking about, but I never did. I do that a lot. Like, for example, you remember my nephew Alex, right?
Hmm.
He graduated from law school.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
also
lawyer.
one of your
Yeah,
interviews.
yeah. So,
Mhm.
a lot of times he's talking, and it's like, I mean, I pretend, and then when he's done, and I just like, oh, really? Okay, yeah, yeah, I get it. And then I go look it up. I memorize the words, and I get a dictionary, look it up.
Mhm.
'Cause I
There's a
don't
lot of
know.
Latin words in law.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you broke it down for me because I don't want to have to go back later and have to look stuff up. But that's how you learn. You learn by reading, by looking stuff up, by being curious.
Hmm.
So when you were in class, were you afraid to ask questions from your instructors?
Oh no, no. I'm pretty sure the other people got annoyed by it sometimes, but I was just,
Really?
yeah, shameless.
That's really good because I have observed like interns when I go to the hospital, and there's always somebody who's like kind of standing in the back, not saying much and not asking questions. Because I always tell them, if you have any questions or if you want to come over here and come up close to see what he's doing to me, you can, because I don't have a problem with that. I said that's what your job, that's what you're here for, is to learn. I said ask questions, don't be afraid to ask questions, and if you want to come up close and look at what he's doing to me, come over here, because I really understand what it's like to be a student and sometimes be afraid to ask questions because it might be viewed as a stupid question. And no, to me, not asking is not asking a question is what's going to hinder you from learning.
Yeah, you're doing yourself a disservice by not asking. But on the other side of the coin, if you ask a little bit too much, that kind of stuff can be saved toward the end of lecture or maybe office hours if you really
Mm-hmm.
had to dig into something. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, asking questions is good.
Okay, so what is your field of study specifically?
My
What's
field
your
of study.
specialty? Yeah, what's your specialty?
Okay, I'm going to emergency medicine. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm going to a place called Wyandotte, Michigan for emergency
What?
medicine. Yeah, it's South Detroit.
Okay. Ooh, Detroit.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Oh, that's for real. Ooh, okay.
but hopefully I'll get a good education there, and the pathology for emergency medicine will be a good training.
And what made you pick Detroit? What made you pick that area?
Uh, it's the luck of the match. Uh, yeah, it's you apply to different places and hmm, it you rank them, they rank you. You either match, you don't match, and if you don't match, then you soap, and that's the supplemental offer and acceptance program kind of deal. I ended up going there to Detroit. It is sort of far away, but
Yes.
you know,
Why are you leaving us? Why are you leaving Texas? You can go to up there in Houston.
hmm
There
that
could
would have been
be.
ideal.
There you
But
go.
hmm but the match, it's a day where thousands of people figure out where they're going for the next 3 to 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I'm going to South Detroit.
Okay. Okay. Which leads to my other question. So you're going to be there for how long? How long are you going to be there?
At least 3 years.
So you actually signed like a contract with them. How does that work?
Yes. So whenever you match to a residency program, it's a binding commitment in order to use the matching algorithm and the um, electronic residency application service, the ERAS.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you match to a place, it is a binding commitment that you'll start work there. And I think for like the first 90 days or something. But yeah, sign a contract.
Okay. I was wondering how, how that went down. So you're going to be there for 3 years, and then after that, you'll figure out what you're going to do after that, correct?
Yes, either a fellowship or go into practice.
I was just about to ask that. Are you going to go into private practice?
Um, I'd still like to remain at an academic center, maybe for the
Mm-hmm.
first few years,
Mm-hmm.
um, in order to get a little bit more under my belt in terms of the pathology that's seen at those academic centers, because usually those would be like trauma one centers, a lot of things coming in, and you get to have a better training so you can hold your own maybe out in those academic practices where
Mm-hmm.
you don't have as much um, or as much the private practice where you don't have as much maybe collaboration from different specialties because you're in a smaller place.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, you're just starting to graduate, so maybe this question is not relevant at this time, but do you see yourself in the future mentoring other young people? Because right now you're just kind of getting out, but do you see yourself doing a little bit of some mentoring?
Oh, for sure. I'd like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of maybe getting people into the ER, or reaching out at schools, talking. Um, I did that back in undergrad. Some of my teachers invited me back to talk to the graduating high school class.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
well, me and a few others, like four others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I get to talk about my experiences and how I've gotten there. Kind of like,
Wow.
but it
Mm-hmm.
was more of a panel that
Mm-hmm.
the five of us had microphones, and anyone who had questions they would ask. And um, sometimes the teachers would chime in to get things going along, but that was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna ask a question totally unrelated to what we're talking about. Totally unrelated. Uh, you were biracial, like
Mhm.
Barack Obama. I remember telling you that. I told you. I said, "Oh, I said you like Barack Obama. You could be president. You need to go." I was pushing. I was pushing. I was like, "You go ahead and be president. You need to go ahead and run from office, and so on and so forth." So, uh, how do you identify yourself? Do you say like Meghan Markle, who married Prince what's his name? Prince Harry? Meghan Markle. She was an actress and she married Prince Harry. Do
Mhm.
you say I'm biracial, or how do you identify? Maybe that shouldn't be a question, but in this day society, that is, racism does still exist. I don't care how much you try to scoot it underneath the rug, it's still a part of this society. So how do you see yourself?
Well, how do I see myself? I see
Mm-hmm.
myself as of mixed races, black and
Mm-hmm.
white.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
what I am, but if anyone's asking or like wanting to give me money for something or something like that, or scholarship kind of deals, I'm black.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
For a lot
understand.
of the, you know, benefit minorities.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't see us as minorities, and I don't really like that word. That word bothers me because, believe it or not, I know some people don't know this. There's a book called Before Columbus, where Black people actually traveled from Africa to the Americas and lived here. That's why, a lot of you see a lot of darker skinned uh, Hispanics, because the Africans came over from Africa and mated with the Native Americans. So that's why you see a lot of darker skinned Native Americans, and you see a lot of darker skinned Mexican people. People don't, if you don't read and don't try to understand, you won't know that. So we have been here way before Columbus came. So people, you know, got to try to understand your history a little bit more. People don't know that. But I'm an avid reader and historian, so that's why I know. So that term minority for me is a misnomer, because I know for a fact we were here. And there, there's even like some heads in the Aztec area in Mexico where their characteristics features look black because we were here. So, anyways, just a little tidbit. That's a little tidbit here and there. But anyways, I understand. So that's, everything you said I really liked. Some people just say, some people say I'm biracial, like Meghan Markle, because she doesn't want to. She wants to include both of her parents, which you should, because you are both.
Mhm.
And then some people, just like Barack Obama, he says I'm black. So I like that answer. Very good. So does anybody have any questions that they want to ask Nate? Now is the time. I'm going to wait for a couple of seconds. I'm looking at the chat. You're doing really good, by the way. You're doing it. You're doing a good job.
I'm glad to hear that. Me too. Good
Oh,
moderator.
well, yeah, well, thank you. I used to be a reporter. I used to report at the Killeen Daily Herald. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Caitlin, your sister's on. Caitlin, do you have some questions to ask your brother? Okay. For the residency, is housing provided? It's by Simply Sean. Is the housing provided for your residency?
No.
So you got to pay for that yourself?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're getting paid at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much as fully fledged physicians, but you are getting paid. But housing is not provided. No.
Do they provide you with your travel expenses?
Yeah, if it's a if, if it's traveling for any kind of educational conference, or if you're presenting a poster at a conference, or any kind of distant rotation at another hospital that you have to do, then they'll provide for that, and they may even provide housing at those distant rotation sites.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there's some assistance there,
Okay.
but
Uh,
each place has their own package. But a commonality is like conferences; they'll provide um, money to go to those.
oh, excellent, excellent. Okay, my sister says, so proud of you, Donna. You did a good job with your crew. Okay, okay. Oh, here she goes. People want to know. It's a totally different question. People want to know if you're single. Are you single?
No, no,
Sorry, ladies, he's not single. He's
yeah.
taken. So does that mean that you're going to be getting married soon? Can I even ask that?
But I'm not engaged.
Oh,
At
you're
the,
not? Okay.
no, but I have a wonderful girlfriend. Her name is Claire. Been
Hmm.
dating now for almost 2 years.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
she's
it's
really.
serious.
Hmm.
You met her parents?
Yeah,
Okay. So if you met the parents, then it's serious. If she took you home to meet the parents, it's serious. She's gonna be expecting that ring soon. 2 years. Oh yeah, it's time to put a ring on it. You got to
uh,
put a ring. You got to put a ring on that. You better lock
no,
that down. You better lock it down. Lock it
I
down.
don't know if you're watching this.
Lock it down. Lock it down.
Oh yeah, she's definitely great.
You got to put
She's
a
great.
ring. Look, you got to put a ring on. Lock it down. Lock it down. So okay, so he's not single, ladies. Sorry, can't come in here trying to talk to him. He's not single. Any more questions for Nate? Maybe I should say, Dr. Nate. Any more questions for Dr. Nate?
18 more days.
Oh, that's it. Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
soon.
yeah.
Any more questions? Okay, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Oh, so your present that I got you should be arriving anywhere from tomorrow to the beginning. Oh, to the beginning of next week. That present I got you. So it's a little something. It's not that much, but it's something. Okay. Simply Sean says, what was the biggest part of your learning? What was the toughest part of your learning?
The toughest part of my learning. Oh, I would say the toughest class that I've had was biochemistry 2 back in undergrad. Harder than anything I'd taken in medical school for sure, because that one's just about metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a ton of enzymes, a ton of different kinds of enzymes, biochemical pathways, learning things about specific enzymes and what roles they have and how they work. some of their quaternary structures, tertiary structures, and how they play, move in order to do work. Enzyme kinetics was the first class of biochemistry, but yeah, the second one was a lot harder, different intermediates and such, and having to memorize those.
Let's roll back. You said the first part was what? Enzyme what?
Kinetics. So like,
Explain that. Let's break that down for people like me. Break it down.
yeah, the rate at which enzymes do their work. Enzymes are proteins that catalyze a reaction in your body. Like you have a lot of different enzymes to just break down glucose into more usable forms of energy by your body, different electron carriers and ATP does a lot of work for you. So the first one's like hexokinase, and what it'll do is add a phosphate group onto your glucose and trap it inside of the cell that is breaking down the glucose. And so enzyme kinetics has to do with the rate at which it does that, and in the presence of inhibitors, different concentrations of substrates, which is the molecule that is being worked on, and also products, and finding equilibrium points based on those as well, because there's also feedback inhibition in some of the loops. And there's also learning about the enzymes themselves and structure and primary, secondary, tertiary structure of enzymes, quaternary structure of others. And yeah, that was the first one, but the second one was a lot harder.
Okay. My sister said my head hurts.
Mine did too. Mine did too.
Okay, let me read some of these comments. Okay. My sister's asking some crazy questions. Did your mother do your homework the first year of med school?
Oh, no. But she did make us homework like growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that's one of the great things that she did for us growing up, is that she would kind of make homework for us.
Mm-hmm.
Even before school started. Like I remember back in kindergarten, we were doing like algebra.
Wow. Your mother had you doing algebra in kindergarten.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just learning
Wow.
the basics of like substitutions and like X and Y and those kind of variables.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, just don't wait for the public school system to, teach you how to, this is A, this is what it looks like, this is what it sounds like, uppercase, lowercase. By the time we got into school, we were already reading those, small books.
Mm-hmm. So when he's saying we, he's saying his sister. He has a sister named Caitlin, and Caitlin is a nurse. So all of this medical genius runs through his family. Caitlin, did she just start a new position with Dale, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, in Austin.
Yes. So this family has his mother. I mean, his mother helped me when I was sick in Killeen. She came over to my parents' house and she checked me out and everything, and told me to go to the hospital because I was feeling jacked up. She thought it was COVID, but thank God it wasn't. But she did come over and check on me. So when I say it runs in the family, the mother is a nurse. She's been a nurse for what, 30 years?
30 something.
Yes, his mother is a nurse.
Yeah, 30 something.
Yeah, I remember. And his sister is a nurse, and he's a doctor. So this is the family of people in the medical profession. So I think that is just excellent. Okay, see what okay, what are some okay. This is my cousin. If you ever get the opportunity, please consider St. Louis, Missouri. We have some of the best doctors.
St. Louis.
Yeah. So
I'll
she
remote.
said, yeah, so she said that. Okay, here she goes. Well, honey, he can't help you with that. You got to see your own doctor. She says, my cholesterol is high. Can you help me? Do you have any suggestions? I mean, he can't really tell you. You have to, right? She needs to go see her own physician, correct?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I recommend a statin, but I couldn't um, prescribe you that because one, I'm only licensed full effective the 22nd of June in Michigan, and
Mm-hmm.
you can only treat close friends, family friends, even though you're not like close or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
uh, for like 72 hours. At least
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is in Texas. I need to look up some of the laws in Michigan.
But let me ask you this. Since you so your medical license that if you go to another state, so you can practice in any state, how does that work?
You can practice in that state that you have the license in. Each state has a licensing board
Mm-hmm.
for medicine. And so each state that you want to practice in, you have to apply for a license. And, it costs a little bit of money, not too much,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
practice in that state.
Okay. My sister, see, he already answered, but you can answer some I think some people have come in a bit late. Will
Mhm.
you be opening your own practice? So if you can answer that question again.
I don't see myself opening a practice right now, uh, especially my own practice. If anything, maybe a small group later.
Mm-hmm.
But after residency and after fellowship, if I decide to go into that, I was still thinking about doing academic medicine and staying
Mm-hmm.
in one of the larger centers just to get a little bit more hands-on
Mm-hmm.
with some of the academic medicine because those are usually the hospitals that have the level one trauma centers,
Mm-hmm.
and a bit more experience there would kind of buff up my skill set
Mm-hmm.
in order to maybe tackle some of the.
Okay. Oh, here's your mom. She said, when do you start your residency? That's your mother.
Uh,
You didn't
uh,
tell your mother?
the 22nd of June.
Okay. I wonder why you didn't tell your mother that. Why she just now learning that?
I don't know.
So your son says the 22nd of June. He should have told you of all people that.
Uh,
And okay, here's your mom again. Good job, Nate. Very proud of you and your achievements. That's what she says. Cool. Your mom is a proud mommy. It's great. Okay. Yeah, Dion has not said anything. So here's a oh, my sister says you look like Donna. Yeah, you do look like your mother. Yeah. And Dana is his aunt. Dana says hello family at work. Okay. I guess Dana's at work. Okay. So if there's not any more questions, we're going to wrap it up at this time. Does anybody have any more questions for Nate? Okay. Here's your mom. She has she did this. Wait a minute. I don't know if you can see. Can you see the laughing symbols when I say you should have
uh,
told your mother first?
mm-mm.
You see that? Okay. So does anybody have okay. Oh, Agent 00 Sonic. Okay. Oh, okay. He's one of your cousins. You know who that is? I haven't met this cousin of yours.
This
This
is
is one of your cousins from what, Kentucky?
no, this is Dion's son.
Oh, Dion. Sean.
Yeah.
Hello, Sean. Oh my gosh. He says, proud of you, cuzzo. Wow, Sean. I haven't talked to Sean in years. Wow. Okay, so before we go, any more questions? This is the last chance you will have to ask Nathaniel, aka Nate, aka soon to graduate doctor, aka Mr. Doctor in a white jacket, white lab coat, aka. So here's the last chance for you to ask Nate a question. Have any more questions for Nate? Okay, so this is my little sign. It's tacky, but can you see
Oh,
that?
it's not tacky at all.
It's
Thank you
tacky.
so much.
And then here's one for his sister. Here we go. Look. Here's my tacky little signs, but I made those for both of you guys. Okay, I got my PC, but safe travels, cuzzo. That's Sean. I got my PC, but safe travels, cuzzo. And Janine, proud of your channel and streams. Oh, thank you, Sean. Only question I have is when will you get a chance to take a break once you start? That's a good question.
Mhm. Um, they have a break system, and we were just introduced to it maybe yesterday, where you can ask off and you have a priority, like high priority ask versus low priority. But there's also two-week blocks that we get off throughout the year, and so yeah, that's how I'll be able to do it. But I think you can request a couple of more days that aren't in those blocks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, everybody is very proud of you, and I just remember you when you were younger. I remember watching you and Caitlin and Mariah and Sean. You guys were playing that electronic drum set. I'm trying to see if I can find that picture. I know I took a picture. That is still a memory to me, and it's just really bizarre seeing seeing all of you guys grown up. It's just because I that seemed to me because I'm old. I'm old, people. I'm 57. I'm old. So that didn't seem like that was that long ago when you guys were all sitting in your mom's living room playing with that electric drum set.
Like Rock Band or Guitar Hero.
Yeah, yeah. Caitlin was playing the drums, and I think you might have been on the I think you might have been on the guitar. I'm trying to. I wish I could find that picture. I'm scrolling through my pictures because I remember taking a picture of you all doing that because I wanted to. I wanted to have that as part of my memory. I said, let me, because I said this is going to be important someday, and I'm going to be able to show it to them when they get older. I probably, if I can find it, I'm gonna send it to your mom. But that was something that I wanted as a keepsake because I said one of these days when they get older, I'm gonna be able to show this to them. And now I can't find it. I should have showed it to you, had it before I got on air. But you all just turned out. Woo,
Um,
I'm getting caught up again. I get like this when I talk to young people. I just get real emotional because I see how you guys started, and I see you guys now, and I see the progression and how you guys matured. And I remember you guys in high school and how you went from high school to college. I remember all of that. And I gotta say, all of you guys, all of you kids, you uh your sister Caitlin, Tasha, Mariah, Sean, try to remember Dana's kids. All of you guys
Dean and
have
Dave.
just turned out to be like really awesome adults. And I gotta give it to you. I gotta give it to your mom. Just awesome, awesome job. So proud of you. So proud of all of you guys. So that's the end of this show. And put my music back on. Is my music working?
Thanks, Jeannie.
I'm telling you this. It comes from a place of love. And I just love all of you guys. You guys just turned out to be just wonderful, kind, and caring human beings. Because to go into the medical field shows me that you actually care about people, and
Mhm.
love you for that. So just want to say good night to everybody. You want to say good night, Nate?
All right. Good night, everyone who
Okay.
showed up and who are going to watch this later, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, you can watch it again. You can watch it in the replay on my channel. On my personal on my YouTube channel. You can watch it in the replay. So again, woof. Whew, just you guys, all of you guys.
And thanks
Just
for having
very
me.
proud of all of you. God bless. Bye bye, Nate.
See you later.
Bye.